Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. Well, we are talking about wet weather back in the forecast, already starting to feel like winter again. We've been spoiled with the warmer than usual temperatures, ridges of high pressure bringing in the heat, and also talking about those 80s that we've had for daytime highs. That put us well above seasonal for this time of the year, but now we're taking a step back. We have an area of low pressure that's also going to bring in some wet weather in our forecast, and that's going to start tonight with some light showers, more widespread by tomorrow morning, impacting your morning drive with light to moderate rainfall, and then holding on to chances for some isolated activity through about Wednesday into the evening hours. So most of the rain chances have been more favorable for the mountains and towards the west of the mountains, not so much for the desert with this next round. We're also looking at a chance for isolated thunderstorms. They cannot entirely be ruled out. Heavier rainfall totals have been suggested for North County, and still seeing some rainfall totals across most of the county. It's just more towards the southeast. That's where the totals will be lighter. Also, slick roads being a major issue. We have not had rain for quite some time, at least heavy rainfall or more measurable rainfall, I should say, and that is why we are looking at a chance for those slick roads out there leading to accidents, ponding on the road as well, minor ponding, and then also talking about with slick roads, the potential for spinouts. So please give yourself some extra time tomorrow morning because it has been a while. So a lot of that oil coming up on the roadways. You have the area of low pressure that is right offshore right now for northern and central California. That's where we've been seeing the bulk of the moisture throughout the day. But that area of low pressure is too, in fact, trickles down a little bit more towards southern California. So our chances increasing tonight all the way through tomorrow, and that most active period being about Wednesday morning. So let's let the clock in motion. So we start to see that activity building up across the mountains. It's lighter in nature around 9:20. That's what our in-house model is suggesting. That's the prefrontal activity before that front arrives. And you can tell that front starts to arrive because more of a line of showers, heavier rainfall ahead of it. So you look at more light to moderate rainfall, even a chance we could see an isolated thunderstorm or two, seeing that move in towards downtown around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, even seeing a more moderate pocket right there, and that is going to be for Oceanside. So you're seeing that favor North County. We continue to hold on to our chances all the way into about 8:35 for tomorrow morning into the 8 o'clock hour. Still looking at that activity making its way across our county, seeing that impact for the South Bay and then stretching all the way towards the mountains. Also a little bit more on the I'm going to say moderate rainfall you're seeing right there across the mountains as well, those deeper greens around 8:35. But then we notice it's lighter greens, so starting to lighten up with that activity as we hit the afternoon hours. Also still looking at it favor for Poway as well as the mountains, also seeing that for Pine Valley. This is around 12:30 in the afternoon, and then we get into about 2:55 where we're looking at more of the lighter showers and activity starting to taper off. So you have that right there along the 8, and then you're seeing that for Pine Valley as well at about 2:55, and then we get into tomorrow evening. That's when everything starts to dry out a little bit more. We still have some lingering clouds out there. We start to see more of a break in those clouds as we go into the overnight hours and gear up for our Thursday. So when all is said and done, these are the suggested rainfall totals, and also the time frame has changed. Yesterday was going all the way until Thursday, but now we're going to go all the way until Wednesday evening. It looks like Thursday is going to be a drier day for us here. We start to see a ridge of high pressure building in for Friday and Saturday, also bringing in some warmth. As I mentioned, the higher rainfall totals do favor North County, seeing more than about 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. But then the more towards the southeast that you go, you also see those totals a little bit lower. So more towards the south, more towards the east. You're also looking at a few hundredths of an inch being possible for Chula Vista. On the higher end of that, upwards of about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, the same for Campo as well as for Alpine, and you have the potential of seeing about 1/4 of an inch or even a little bit more than that for downtown, as well as 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch for El Cajon. So looking at measurable rainfall back in the forecast, and today is not going to be the only day, or at least tomorrow won't be the only day. We're looking at more chances by next week. For your overnight lows, lots of 50s out there. 55 degrees for Escondido, the same for Poway, 53 degrees for Miramar, 43 degrees expected for Ramona. We get to daytime highs for tomorrow with widespread 60s back in our forecast, even with the low 60s. That puts us below seasonal for this time of the year. So 64 degrees for downtown, 62 for Ramona. You have 66 degrees expected for El Cajon. Those 60s all because that uniform cloud cover just really kind of evening things out. You have 46 degrees expected for Palomar Mountain, and also looking at 50 degrees, and that's going to be for Julian. So your surf forecast for tomorrow, you're also talking about 4 to 6 feet, sets up to 7 feet, and a high risk of rip currents at our local beaches. But the one thing I want to note is our UV index. It does come down because, well, it's not going to look like this picture out there tomorrow. You're going to have a lot more cloud cover out there, and so that brings that UV index to a low. So series of low pressure systems sweeping through, impacting for the west coast, and then high pressure just follows right behind that. That warms our temperatures up just a little bit more, bringing back those low 70s across the inland valleys by Friday and Saturday, and then we gear up for next week. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this area of low pressure, and it's a rather large one coming in from the Gulf of Alaska to pack some more of a punch. At least that's what forecast models are showing, and that's with more of that rainfall. So seeing a lot more moisture associated with this. With a big area of low pressure making such a big dip across the west, that also brings in the potential of tapping into an atmospheric river. So that would be by Monday of next week, we start to see more of that moisture moving in, increasing our chances, and the low, relatively colder compared to the one that we're going to be dealing with by tomorrow. That helps to drive down our temperatures a little bit more and potentially driving down that snow level to the point that we could see some snow in our local mountains. So in the days ahead, models will come to a better agreement on the time frame of that, whether or not we would see some snow, when that snow level would be coming down, and just how much we could see when all is said and done. Then that area of low pressure moving over us and producing a lot of snow across the four corners. So something we're going to be keeping a close eye on in the days ahead. As of our chances, you have the higher chance for tomorrow. Then you see the significant drop off by Thursday as we dry out, and we take that into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but then you have that increase in chances starting on Sunday. Only a slight chance on Sunday, but more favorable for Monday of next week. So you have the red boxes indicating weather impact alert day for tomorrow. We take a break from the wet weather, and that's going to last all the way till Sunday, but Sunday a lot more cloud cover. Sunday very reminiscent of what we are experiencing today with just the cloud cover, but not necessarily focusing on wet weather. But then that is set to arrive. That's going to be on Monday and Tuesday of next week, marking more weather impact alert days. Not seeing a weather impact alert day for the desert, not extending into the desert with this moisture, but a lot of cloud cover that's going to be out there. Chances for the mountains are there, indicating that red box. And then you get into the weekend where things are going to be drier. It's going to be really nice out there. And then we gear up for next week. So the rain set to arrive, potentially a weakening atmospheric river by Monday on President's Day. And then potentially that low moving over us, driving down that snow level to the point where we see snow in our local mountains, and also bring a chance for that wet weather extending into the desert by next week. So of course, we'll continue to keep you posted. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.